Anyway, the nature of morality and ethics in Islam, this is very important. We've touched on it. So again, hopefully we can go through it quickly, but this is really important for the latter part of the discussion, which we are finally getting to, sexual norms and then homosexuality specifically, and then we'll be wrapping up, hopefully, inshallah. So where does morality come from, right? Where does it come from? In the West, you've had deontological ethics. Back when religion was more prominent, this notion that moral behavior was largely a question of doing your moral duty, and the moral duty was often, seen as coming from God and divine command, right? And this is kind of natural within a theistic universe. And so this is also, for Muslims, is very fundamental. God's command is absolutely fundamental, and we mentioned this before. And I also mentioned the verse, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have created jinn and mankind but to worship me, right? And then it is God and his messenger, Allah and his messenger alone, right, for the Muslim, who are legislators of what is right and wrong, permitted and prohibited. This is not our prerogative as human beings, either collectively to say we just sort of extemporaneously exposit a rational morality, or let alone, even more so, our individual. This is the motto. Well, what do you think of this? Where do you stand on premarital sex? It's not it's nothing to do with what you your opinion doesn't matter.
It's above our pay grade. These questions are above our pay grade. We refer them up.
Exactly, yeah.
Who has the authority to make these judgments. So don't ask me, ask the one who made us.
Because when you do it, you get people like legalizing child pornography in the 1970s, right? Yeah. That's what happens when you just leave people. And so this is a very critical verse, right? I'll just read it in English again for the sake of time. It is not for any believing man or woman, when Allah and his messenger have decided on an affair, to have any choice in their matter. Okay, in the word, أن يكون لهم الخيارة من أمرهم, خيار choice. And this is the fetish of the modern world, choice. Well, I chose. Did you choose? Why do you wear hijab? Well, I chose to. Everything comes down to choice. It's legitimate if you chose it. It's not legitimate if you didn't choose. This strikes at the heart of that, right? Not believing for any believing man or woman, not appropriate, right? Or becoming for any believing man or woman, when God and his messenger have decided on an affair, to have any choice in their matter. And whoever disobeys God and his messenger, or Allah and his messenger, has manifestly gone astray. This verse just completely, shatters that myth, right? That if God and his messenger have decided on an affair, that's it. It's their prerogative, God's, and obviously the messenger only is obeying the command of his Lord. So it's really God in the end, right? Now you can disobey, go ahead, but you're disobeying. You can't make up your own morality. You can either obey God's morality or disobey it, and reap the consequences of either choice, but it's not your prerogative to make it up. So that's one, divine command, absolutely fundamental for us as Muslims. That cannot be lost from any discussion that we have as Muslims, particularly internally, when it comes to questions of sex, sexual morality, or anything.